What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Dude Ranch DIY. My name is Jake. We are out here at a new client's property with the Kubota mini excavator, and I got the Baumalight mini skid steer around the corner of the house here. We're going to be doing some property cleanup today. So basically, this is one of my buddy Kyle's lawn care accounts. He does lawn mowing and landscaping on the side, and they have this area here up behind the house. It's kind of like a hillside, and as you can see, he's taken down trees here over the years. There's some stumps, there's a lot of like underbrush and like little saplings and stuff growing up. There's some rocks and stuff, and we're gonna try to clean this up a little bit today. I think the eventual goal is to plant grass here and have it be a continuation of the lawn. By no means are we going to be grading it flat. This is a really steep hill. I don't know if you could tell, but you could see it's like taller than the excavator is. But what we are going to be doing is hauling out all of these rocks and just kind of grading it and tapering it out, so that it's at least mowable with a walk behind zero turn mower. So we're going to be digging out some stumps and stuff like that. Kyle's truck is hooked up to the SureTrack dump trailer. That's what we're going to be hauling the material out with. He just drove down the road to spin around, and the plan is for him to back up basically right here where I'm standing. It's a straight shot from the road, and as I pull out the stumps and material and stuff with the excavator, the plan is to hopefully load it into the back of the dump trailer, just in one shot. A lot of these rocks and stuff we brought the mini skid steer for. That way we could kind of take scoops with the bucket and dump it in the dump trailer as well. The one caveat here is that all of the stumps and like brushy woody material has to be in a separate load from the rocks and dirt, I believe. So we kind of have to do this in two stages. My plan is to kind of rake the whole area with the bucket and the thumb, pick up all the big woody debris and stuff, and then we'll start working with the dirt and the rocks. Here comes Kyle with the dump trailer now. All right, we got the dump trailer in position here. Let's get to work. All right, guys, we're making pretty good progress here. Got the dump trailer pretty much loaded up with all of the big brush. A lot of this grass and stuff is just gonna get dug up with the dirt, when we dig up all the rocks. I just ripped out 3 of these U stumps up here. The excavator did it so easily. This thing is awesome. I lost the same tooth I've been having troubles with. I keep losing the same teeth. It's these roll pins that I bought. They're just not as heavy duty, I guess, as the Kubota ones. The Kubota ones are $20 a piece. I got 12 for $15, but I guess that's just it. You get what you pay for. So I might have to break down and buy some of those $20 a piece roll pins from Kubota. Hopefully they're a little bit more heavy duty because I'm tired of losing teeth. This is looking pretty good up here though. I'm just going to track back down the hill, load up these couple stumps into the dump trailer, and then Kyle's gonna take that load to the dump, and I'm gonna start working on pulling out all these rocks for the next load. Okay, Kyle took off with the dump trailer. The next phase of this project is gonna be getting all this rock out of here. I just moved the excavator back up here in between these kind of little stone, retaining wall things. I'm gonna try and level out a spot up in there because I don't think the mini skid steer is really gonna be able to climb up this hill, especially once we remove all this rock. So if I clear out, a level pad there for myself, I should be able to dig out that rock and then put it down here to an area where Kyle can load it up with the mini skid steer. We're hoping that at least on this lower one, we could just kind of go in and you know, pick up scoops of these rocks and put them in the back of the dump trailer and get, you know, rid of all of these rocks for the most part. So here we go. Well, I'm happy to report that I was able to get all the way over to that spot up there to pull that stump out. It came out super easily. I just couldn't reach it. And in the process, I was able to pull out all these big boulders that were kind of in between the two retaining walls. And I've now made a, you know, kind of a terrace here that is somewhat flat. It's not level by any means. I mean, you can see the angle of the excavator relative to, you know, the slope, but it's a hell of a lot flatter than it was before. And now I should have no problem, you know, reaching the end of this little retaining wall here and pulling these rocks out and dropping them down here for Kyle to then pick up with the Baumalight mini skid steer and load into the dump trailer. So that worked out really well. This has been pretty fun so far. I really, you know, as you guys know, I'm very new to the whole excavating dirt work kind of game here. I've been practicing a lot in the wood yard, but that's all with wood related, you know, jobs. So out here doing dirt work, it's a little bit different, but I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do in my mind, and then it's just figuring out the best way to safely execute it, you know, while being as productive as possible. So I'm glad that this worked out. This was kind of my idea, like I said in the beginning, to kind of create a flat spot and get in there, and I was able to do it and execute it. So I'm pretty impressed with myself and definitely very happy. Hopefully Kyle is happy when he gets back from the dump. Okay guys, so the job is going pretty good so far. We had one little hold up or setback, and that is the place that Kyle took that load wouldn't take any stumps, even though they weren't really big stumps. You know, they were just like that little Taxus, like used stumps. It was more like brush than anything. They wouldn't take them, so you had to go somewhere else to dump that was like a little bit farther away. So it's taken him a little bit longer to get back. So in the meantime here, I started disassembling this upper rock wall, or, you know, retaining wall, whatever you want to call it. And I'm trying to keep as little dirt I'm trying to keep as much dirt out of, as much dirt out of the bucket as possible when I'm doing this. So I'm trying to like pick up basically each rock one or two at a time in the bucket with the thumb, and then you know, just kind of like place them out over here, and I'm picking them up kind of vertically and then letting the dirt fall out of the bucket. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with at least my operating today so far. You know, like I said, I definitely don't do this every day, but
once you kind of establish a plan, you're able to, seems like I've so far been able to kind of execute like what I want to do. The hardest part is just kind of figuring out how to start. You know, at first it was a little overwhelming. I was like, oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to get the excavator up here, you know, to this area, but here I am. And I made it all the way over to basically like where the camera is. Just behind the camera is where that little stump was. I couldn't reach from the bottom. And, you know, I was able to kind of level out a spot, which I think this was the best way to do this, because to try and scoop up all these rocks with the mini skid steer, I think we would have gotten a lot more dirt in the pile of rocks, and we kind of need the dirt, because I think we got to see when Kyle gets back, but I think we're going to try and taper this out just so that it's, you know, not so that it's shallow enough, I guess you could say, so that he can mow it, you know, like I said in the beginning, with a walk behind mower. He has a pretty nice, I think it's an X-Mark walk behind mower, and you know, as long as we can get it to where it's not super steep and rocky, he should be able to. Now I'm trying to pull all the big rocks out. The little ones that get mixed up in the dirt, I'm not too worried about, because, you know, I think we're going to end up pulling down this hillside a little bit to kind of try and level out this whole area. For those of you that follow me on Instagram and Facebook, I posted a new reel, like a short video. It's like 1 minute and 30 seconds long of, you know, and I kind of said like a day in the life, and it was, you know, me, what I do during the day, and then when I get home, what I did. It was I filmed it yesterday. It was Friday, and Sarah and I actually ended up going to a concert that I bought her tickets for her birthday back in April, and the concert was just last night. We saw Lainey Wilson, who she was the barrel racer. For those of you that watch Yellowstone, she was the actress that played the barrel racer in Yellowstone, and now she's, I guess she always has been a country music singer, but she got really popular from Yellowstone, I think, and I think she won a bunch of Grammys, Sarah was saying, this year, which, good for her. She put on a great show. I typically don't care for, you know, female country artists, not because they're female, I just usually don't care for, you know, their lyrics or whatever, for whatever reason, I don't know, but she was actually really good. She put on a great show, and Sarah and I had a lot of fun. So all of this is topsoil, so it's just super soft, and it's been hard for me to not sink in. The track, the lower track especially, has just been sinking in a lot. So I keep just using my blade, and the angle blade on this machine is great. Oh, Kyle just showed up. The angle blade on this machine is great because then I can push stuff, you know, downhill to where I need the material. And I've just kind of been like carving my way through this. So these bigger boulders we're actually going to try and save for my buddy Joe, who you guys have seen. I did some excavator work for him a couple of weeks ago when I had the mishap with the excavator and the trailer. But these bigger ones he wants, because he's still working on that retaining wall that he was building. So, all right, I'm gonna shut down the machine and reassess with Kyle now.
So I was thinking, while I got all the rocks out of there and I have the level spot for the machine, I could kind of pull down the dirt from the top side.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of taper it out, because I don't know, I mean, that's still too steep for you to mow with your mower, right? Yeah.
The more material we pull, the better, because we can make that top up there kind of flat.
Okay, so you just want to pull it all down and make it one big hillside?
Yeah,
is that what you're thinking? Okay. So we'll get these rocks out of here, I guess with the mini skid steer. We'll see how much that can pick up and get into the trailer and go from there. Alright guys, as you can see, I am ripping along here doing the grading here with the Baumalight mini skid steer. You saw in that time lapse I stopped for a second because the machine just like died. Not the motor, but all the hydraulics just quit on me for a second. I didn't know what was going on. I was kind of looking around and doing some inspection, and I came across a blown fuse underneath this main hatch here. It was almost as if it seemed like the parking brake was on, which disables all the electronics. See, it'll go down with gravity, but it disables all the electronics to the tracks and the loader. And then, you know, when you get on it, here, now you can lift it up and curl your bucket and whatnot. So it's pretty weird, but I don't know what caused the fuse to blow. Maybe I was just working it a little too hard or something, but luckily, Baumalight has the wherewithal to include extra fuses in that little panel there, which was awesome, because that got me up and running. Once I figured out that it was the fuse, it got me up and running in no time. Popped the fuse in, tested it, it worked. That was great. So big thumbs up to Baumalight for thinking of that and making it super easy to access everything that potentially could go wrong out on a job site, like a stupid fuse. So we're gonna get back to work here. All right, guys. I don't know when my iPhone ran out of power on that time lapse, but here is what we got. I just finished doing the rough grading, or final grading, I guess we'll call it, with the Baumalight mini skid steer. And let me tell you, ever since I put in that 30 amp fuse, no problems. This is quite a transformation from what we started with. I will flash a picture right now on the screen of what it looked like when we first got here, but this is a huge improvement. Kyle's up there now just snipping some roots that we couldn't quite break with the machines. But I just took out the level on the phone. This, I'll show you guys. I got the level on the iPhone right here, so it's not perfect, but this is pretty steep. Like, we're talking, I don't know if you can see that, like a 23-degree slope. Basically, we'll call it 20, just you know, for a rough average, but it is steeper in some spots. That's 30, like, so we'll call it 20. And this Baumalight mini skid steer handled it like the little bulldozer that it is. I've never really done much grading work with this thing yet. I only have about 40 hours on it, and this machine did an awesome job. Both of my machines actually did a really good job. I'm super happy with the excavator. I'm super happy with the mini skid steer, and the results here kind of just really speak for themselves. This whole area was totally unusable. Now Kyle's gonna be able to come in, seed this, hay it. He's gonna probably rake it all out, either by hand or maybe rent like a power rake that we could throw on the front of the mini skid steer here. But this, I chalk this up to be a major success. Super happy. Well, all right, guys, I think that is going to about wrap it up. Kyle and I just finished picking up all the rocks and roots and stuff that were loose. We hand raked it. We got a nice pile of debris in the back of the dump trailer over here, as you can see, all that nasty leftover stuff. And what we're left it with is an area that is pretty much ready for seed. Now, I mean, we're not going crazy. This isn't gonna be like a PGA golf course or anything, but we wanna get some seed and hay on this as soon as possible to prevent erosion. But it all looks really good, and I think the customer should be pretty happy with it. So as always, guys, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. Any questions, comments, feedback, throw it in that comment section. Let me know how we did on this job. Like I said, be easy. This is one of our first times, you know, doing excavation and dirt work like this, especially with these two machines. So give me feedback. But for now, I'm Jake. This is Dude Ranch DIY. Thanks so much for watching. See you here next time.